Have you ever had one of those days, where your job demands you be more connected, more online, more tech-savvy than ever, but all you really want to do is just turn it all off? Well, that feeling, that tension, that's the tech paradox, and we are going to unpack it right now.
And this really gets to the heart of the whole conflict. On the one hand, there's this incredible push. 92% of jobs in the US now demand digital skills. It's not optional anymore. But at the exact same time, there's this massive pull in the opposite direction, this growing movement of people seeking a digital detox. So how are we supposed to balance these two powerful competing forces?
Okay, so let's dig into that first side of the coin, the relentless professional push for more tech, not less.
Let's just let this number sink in for a second. 92%. That is this staggering percentage of jobs in the United States that now require you to have some kind of digital skill. Think about that. It's not just for tech jobs anymore. It's pretty much for everyone.
But here's where it gets complicated. Even with that huge demand, there's a serious problem. Nearly 1/3 of American workers, they don't have those basic digital skills. This isn't just a small issue. It's a massive skills gap, and it's putting a ton of pressure on both employees and the entire economy.
So right as we're all trying to get a handle on that gap, a brand new technology comes along and basically throws gasoline on the fire. We're talking, of course, about generative AI. It's this huge accelerator that's forcing the entire workforce to adapt and to do it faster than ever before.
And when I say fast, I mean, wow. Just to look at the speed. It took the personal computer about 5 years to get to 40% adoption. The internet took 7. But generative AI, it blew past that mark in just 2 years. We have literally never seen a technology spread this quickly.
So, who's actually using these new tools? Well, a clear pattern is emerging, and it might feel a little familiar. Kind of like with the personal computer back in the 80s, the early adopters of AI at work tend to be people with bachelor's and graduate degrees. Right now, the higher your education level, the more likely you are to be integrating AI into your job.
All right, let's flip the script, because for every push, there's a pull, right? Now we're going to look at that powerful counter movement, the very conscious, very human choice to just disconnect.
And this quote right here, it nails the why. This isn't really about people hating technology. It's a reaction to the mental and emotional strain of being plugged in 24/7. To put it simply, people are just completely burned out.
And who's feeling that burnout the most? Well, you might be surprised. It's not the older folks who grew up without smartphones. No, it's actually Gen Z and millennials, the generations that grew up online, who are leading the trend of switching back to simpler so-called dumb phones.
And the reasons why make a lot of sense. People are trying to cut down on their screen time, they're looking to boost their mental health, and they're worried about privacy. Sure, there's a little bit of nostalgia in there, but this is a movement that's really driven by some very real, very modern concerns.
So this is the big question. Where do these two huge forces, the push for more tech and the pull for less, actually collide in the real world? Well, there's no better place to look than a classroom. It is the perfect case study for this whole tech paradox.
On one side, you have educators like Shannon Zarobsky who are incredibly optimistic. They don't see AI as a threat. They see it as this amazing, revolutionary tool that can help them engage students in ways they just never could before, creating these super personalized learning experiences. And you have to remember, at the center of all this, it's not about abstract technology. It's about people. It's about teachers and their students who are right there on the front lines trying to figure out this powerful new frontier, day in and day out.
But of course, that optimism is balanced with a lot of caution. Look at this. A huge majority of educators, almost 80%, are worried to some degree about students using AI to cheat. That concern about academic integrity, it's real, and it is not going away.
So the path forward isn't about choosing team tech or team no tech. It's about being thoughtful. It's about building a framework. That means creating clear guidelines on how to use AI, teaching kids what AI literacy actually is, training the teachers, and hey, maybe using AI to automate boring admin tasks so we have more time for what really counts, that human connection.
Okay, so let's zoom out from the classroom for a second and look at the big picture, the one that affects every single one of us as we try to make our way in this new world.
When you step back and look at all of this, one thing becomes pretty obvious. This isn't a simple choice between more tech or less tech. It's not about plugging in versus checking out. The real challenge is something much deeper.
The real work here is for us to decide, consciously decide, what we want all this amazing technology to do for us. It's about taking these incredibly powerful tools and making sure they line up with our actual human values, things like connection, well-being, creativity, and focus.
And that all leads to this one final, really important question. The great promise of AI and automation is that it will give us back our most valuable resource, our time. So the ultimate challenge, but also the ultimate opportunity, is figuring out what we're going to do with it. What will we choose to build? Who will we choose to be? That's the future we all get to define together.